A warm good evening, everyone. I am Vaibhav Sharma, and today we are joined by a very special guest. We are having the senior editor of India Today Group and the anchor at India Today, Preeti Chaudhary. Thank you, ma'am, for your time.
Thank you.
Today we are going to talk upon journalism. My very first question to you that this job of in journalism is very tough sort of a thing. So what are the various activities that you employ in your life to manage your stress?
Well, I believe if you really enjoy your job, then the stress is not going to be that much. And, that's something that, because I really, really enjoy what I do. So the stress is actually exciting to be on the field. So you don't feel bad that you have to get up at 6 a.m. and work 20 hours. You don't feel bad that, you have to work on a weekend. So, because of all of that, you don't, the stress levels are high in terms of the deliverables are high. And you don't, you look at it as each day. So, okay, you've had a bad day, you just move on from there and then you deal with it in the next day. You don't carry back work saying you didn't get an interview or your news break didn't happen.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't think too much about it.
Ma'am, like we are seeing from the morning itself, like you people are here and you have to sit here for long hours, and so after some time a person thinks tired, a person gets tired. How that freshness do you maintain? uh,
Well, you get tired because it's a long day, but you try and get as much sleep. That's what you try and do. You try and get a meal because, especially during elections at this time,
Yes,
this is
ma'am.
going to be your life, and you actually prepare yourself for this period when
Yes.
elections come or when heavy news activity days are around. That this is going to be, your situation for at least a few days. So you're
Yes, ma'am.
mentally prepared.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my next question to you is that there are many stories that a journalist covers. Any three stories which affected you the most?
Well, actually, it was right here in Punjab. I won my first Ramnath Goenka Award for it, which was in 2013. I covered the drug menace in Punjab. That really deeply impacted me as well because when you actually see so many people hooked onto drugs, so it was something which deeply impacted me. It also won me an award. That was in Punjab. Then my other, there's so many stories. Like, to be very honest, there are so many stories that I have covered that I feel. But I know this one was a big one in my head. Then the 2014 elections was huge because that totally changed the course of politics in this country with Narendra Modi. I remember covering that election extensively. Then, there's so many instances. COVID. I covered the second wave, which was brutal,
Yes, ma'am.
and I was on ground. So that was life changing in so many ways because you saw tragedy up so close and personal. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. And if we talk about politics right now in India, how will you describe the status of politics in today's India? And along with that, there are elections in 5 states. My question is to you is which leader do you admire the most? Being a journalist,
Yeah, I
mean
can't
you
say.
yes, ma'am. And I mean, how do you see the Indian politics today?
Well, it's cutthroat. It's highly competitive because in my prime with what I see right now, it's not what it used to be. I feel the level of debate, the level of narrative has fallen in terms of political discourse has fallen. The kind of debates that you saw, as a student when I saw, and I would look at, feed from Parliament, and I saw these, fabulous debates. You don't see that kind of quality of debating anymore in Parliament. So that is something which I feel has fallen. It's become extremely cutthroat. Usually, you've always seen a kind of bonhomie between parties where politicians were concerned. You don't see that right
Yes,
now.
ma'am. Ma'am, today you are working with the most known channel, India Today Group. There are many people who are struggling to come at this stage. What is your message for those?
Keep your head down, work hard, and don't lose hope.
Yes, ma'am.
But work very hard. There are no shortcuts in journalism.
Sure, ma'am. Moving at the end, I'll be asking you, which favorite book, which book is your favorite, and why will you tell the readers to read that book?
Well, I've got so many favorite books. Like I can't. There are so many favorite books that I've had. But off late, if I would think, I'm a big fan of Joan Didion. The Year of Magical Thinking is one book which it's not my favorite, but it's a book that I do recommend, especially somebody who's dealt with grief or is battling with grief. So it's not my favorite, but it's a book I recently read, and I would recommend it to anyone dealing with grief.
Okay, ma'am. Favorite sports person?
My favorite sports person. It used to be Djokovic before the entire vaccination controversy. No longer. So I'm a big tennis fan. So I watch a lot of tennis.
Okay, ma'am. Uh, Favorite political leader you can.
I cannot tell.
Okay. And ma'am, my last question. This is a very sort of a question that every person needs to know. What is your diet?
My diet.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I eat everything. Especially, I eat everything fried. I'm sorry, my diet is not as what you thought that I would. I eat everything. So I eat fried, I eat parathas, I eat proper Indian meal, I eat everything. Ice creams, everything. I don't mind my diet so much.
Thank you so much, Preeti ma'am, for being here, giving your time to us.
You're welcome.
That means a lot. Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome, darling. Thanks.